Hello, welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Fidelia Aguncha. The Nigerian Air Force says it has killed the wife of Abubakar Shakal, factional leader of the Boko Haram terrorist sect. According to Air Force Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Olatokunbo Adesanya, Malama Fidasi was killed following air raids on suspected Boko Haram hideouts in Borno State. The attacks were carried out as part of the new Operation Ruwan Water 2, aimed at further eliminating the terrorists in the country. Nigeria has been battling Boko Haram militants since 2009. The Nigerian army in 2016 dislodged the radicals of their entire strongholds, arresting thousands of its members. However, a number of the militants are still at large, including the leader of the sect, Abubakar Shakal, who has disputed claims of the defeat by the Nigerian army. The Nigerian army has rescued 85 civilians from Boko Haram terrorists in the country's northeast. A statement by Army spokesperson Brigadier General Sani Usman said the civilians were rescued as part of clearance operation by troops attached to Mongola, Ngawa, Tongule and Wasela villages in northern Borno State. Brigadier General Usman also revealed the troops killed 11 Boko Haram terrorists in the operation. The soldiers also recovered several arms and ammunition from the insurgents. Nigeria's federal, local and state government shared 558.082 billion naira as allocation in the month of October. This was disclosed by the Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, at a press briefing. He also gave a breakdown on how the money was shared between the three tiers of government.
The VAT collection, as I told you, is 83,315,000,000. So on the whole, the revenues that are distributed to the three tiers of government in total amounts to 507,276,000,000 compared to 637,704,000,000 as distributed in the previous month. The balance on the excess root account as at 24th of October 2017 stood at, and is still the same balance, $2.309 billion. $2.309 billion.
Nigeria President Muhammadu Buhari has postponed the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting till Thursday. A statement from the presidency says the meeting will be used to finalize details on the country's 2018 budget. The presidency has also expressed its commitment to returning the budget calendar year to January till December. The disclosure comes less than a week after the president sent the 2018 to 2020 medium-term expenditure framework to the Senate. The document, which must be approved by the Senate before a budget is submitted, is proposing a record 8.6 trillion naira budget for the 2018 fiscal year. 3 suspected cases of monkeypox have been confirmed in Delta State. The State Commissioner of Health, Nicholas Azinge, said the suspected cases have been isolated and are currently under medical care at an undisclosed location in the state. He, however, noted the cases are subject to confirmation by laboratory tests. The figure brings the number of suspected cases in the country to 77, with only 3 confirmed in Bayelsa. The Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, has defended his role in the controversial recall of Abdul Rashid Maina back into the Federal Civil Service. Maina was reappointed as the Director in charge of Human Resources in the Ministry of Interior, despite being on the wanted list of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. His reappointment had drawn condemnation, and President Muhammadu Buhari ordered his immediate disengagement hours after he was reobserved. The Attorney General says he will tell Nigerians the truth about the incident when he responds to the Senate summon. In a move fast becoming the order of the day, the Libyan government has again deported 257 Nigerians back into the country. The deportees arrived the country on Tuesday after failed attempts to cross over to Europe from the northern African country. According to the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, the deportees include females, which are 241, 2 children and 5 infants, while the male comprised 4 adults, 4 teenage boys and 1 infant. Their return was facilitated by the International Organization for Migration. The Nigerian Senate on Wednesday moved to end the plight of Nigerian students on scholarship abroad. The lawmakers during plenary noted a number of Nigerian students are currently stranded in Russia, United Kingdom, Canada and other countries due to inability of the federal government to pay their tuition fees and stipends. The lawmakers agreed to summon various agencies of government responsible for scholarship to Nigerian students to meet with the Senate President with a view to bringing the plight of the students to an end. A coalition of civil society organizations have tasked Nigerian leaders at all levels to embrace the new media platform as a tool to deepen democracy in the country. The group made the demand in Abuja, the nation's capital. They were speaking ahead of the upcoming New Media, Citizens and Governance Conference organized to fashion out protocols, ideas and approaches which best facilitate engagement between Nigerians and their elected officials, as well as the institutions they represent through the tool of social media.
One thing the new media has done that has democratized opinion. It doesn't matter who you are. You can go to your Facebook page, you can make a YouTube video and say whatever you want to say there. Now, it makes it more difficult, because the implication of that is that it makes it more difficult for opinion to now be regulated.
The purpose of the NMCG conference actually is to bridge the gap between the citizens and the government. And if we're going to look at it, how can we bridge this gap between the citizens and the government? Because of recent or lately, we discovered that the gap is getting wider and wider. And the only way we can bridge this gap is through new innovations, through new media, through digital media, through our social media platforms.
As more Nigerians go online, including professionals like journalists who depend on the internet for their career, what happens online and who determines what happens online are important decisions indeed. NMCG 2018 therefore provides another opportunity for all stakeholders in public, private, civil society, and all citizens to get their voices heard and shape their digital futures, and the right to be heard and engage meaningfully with government across social media channels, which are rapidly emerging as the new media of the 21st century.
Mr. John! Mr. John! What is it now?
What is it now?
Please turn down the volume of your music. It's too loud.
And how is that your business?
It is disturbing me. I can't sleep.
And the same way you are disturbing my right to good music and where I enjoy it. What's wrong with you? Is any other person complaining?
Maybe we thought that you have lost your mind. Are you having a party?
I'm just respecting you, sir. You remember I paid my husband too.
You will not understand why we are complaining, because you do not care about other people except yourself. Look, the transformation we need in this country begins in this compound.
Yes, now.
From you and I. This your selfishness is an offshoot of corruption. And corruption
Not in my country.
Go to your bank. Go.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. It's time for Business Stories with Ngozi Okoye.
Thank you, Fidelia. The National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, says the gross domestic in a real-time declined in the third and fourth quarter of 2016. The NBS made this known in its Nigerian gross domestic product reports on expenditure and income approach for the third and fourth quarter of 2016. released in Abuja. According to the report, the decline followed the negative growth trend from the first half of 2016. It explained that the household consumption and government consumption expenditures led to the decrease in GDP in both the third and fourth quarter of the year under review. Oando PLC says it has asked the court to restrain the Nigeria Stock Exchange and Securities Exchange Commission (SEC) from further suspending its shares. NSE and Johannesburg Stock Exchange had suspended trading of Oando shares, citing an advice from SEC. On Monday, the NSE partially lifted the suspension on the shares, meaning that the shares can be traded, but there will be no change in price. SEC has accused the company of infractions, including alleged declaration of false profit and insider trading. However, in a 9-page statement released by Oando and signed by the Chief Compliance Officer of the company secretary, Ayotola Jagun, the company said it will make amends in areas where it was wrong. Oil steadied on Wednesday following a 4-week high after top exporter Saudi Arabia said it was determined to end the supply glut that has been weighing on the market for 3 years. And in the international market, Brent crude futures were down 20 cents at $58.13 a barrel, while U.S. crude was trading down 27 cents at $52.20. The fall comes after Saudi Arabian Energy Minister Khalid Al-Falih said the kingdom was determined to reduce all inventory stocks in industrialized countries to their 5-year average. He added that the country will raise the prospect of prolonged output restraint to cut supply ends. It was a bearish market at the Nigeria Stock Exchange as the oil share index appreciated by 0.25% to close at 36,622.85 basis points. The top 4 advancers include Seplat Petroleum Development, GlaxoSmithKline, Nascon Allied Industries plc, and UACN. The equities of Fort Oil, Mobil, International Brewers, and Cotix plc, among others, saw a downturn at 2.23, 1.85, 1.72, and 0.22% respectively. Meanwhile, UBA, Zenith, Access, and Fidelity Banks led the list of active stocks that recorded impressive drive at the end of the day's session. The market summarized with 3,577 deals in a volume of 332.996 million shares, valued at 4.661 billion naira. And that is it on Stock News. We will return with foreign and sports stories.
Yeah, relax. That is my brother and I want him out of this station now. Okay, can I just see the IPO of this case? IPO, how are you?
No, welcome, sir.
That is my brother and I want him out of this station now.
Do you know the offense he has committed, sir?
What do you guys want for your weekend? Okay, let me see your DPO.
This way, sir.
Oh, better. You don't know me here. That boy is my brother and I want you to assist me to free him.
The man found the gun, confessed robbery.
Things like this happen. 200,000 naira for you.
Are you bribing me?
500,000 naira.
Robbery suspect?
1 million naira.
That is corruption. Not allowed in this division.
1 million.
Remember, police is your friend. Giving and taking bribe is wrong.
Corruption, not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Corruption not in my country.
Glad to have you back. Authorities in Madagascar say about 124 people have so far died since the outbreak of an epidemic in August. Plague is common in Madagascar, but the outbreak has caused 1,192 suspected cases since August and is especially worrying because it started earlier in the season than usual and has hit urban rather than rural areas. In addition, 2/3 of the cases are of the pneumonic plague, the deadliest form of the disease. The WHO says an estimated $9.5 million is needed to counter the epidemic, but only $3 million has been raised so far. Kenya's Chief Justice has said the Supreme Court is unable to hear a petition calling for a delay in Thursday's presidential rerun election. David Maraga said not enough of the court's 7 judges were available to hear the case. The Supreme Court annulled the original election in August by a 4-2 majority, saying the poll was neither transparent nor verifiable. Opposition leader Raila Odinga is boycotting the rerun, saying nothing has changed, while President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is seeking a second term, has said the ballot must go ahead. On to sports now. The improved National Stadium swimming pool Surulere, Lagos, is set to host the West Africa Junior Swimming Championship. The Nigeria Aquatic Federation has secured the pool to host the second Africa Kana Zone 2, that is West and Central Africa Junior Swimming Championship, from October 27 to October 29. The pool, which hosted the 1973 All-Africa Games, will play host to 20 nations. Juventus president Andrea Agnelli has told the club's shareholders the Italian champions have been completely acquitted by FIFA in the transfer of Paul Pogba to Manchester United. World Football governing body were investigating Pogba's transfer to Old Trafford over suspicions that a payment to agent Mino Raiola could have breached third-party ownership rules. Manchester United were cleared of any wrongdoing in the summer, and Juventus have also not been found wanting. Italian and Juventus legend Gianluigi Buffon has again announced his intention to retire from football after the 2018 World Cup in Russia. The 39-year-old, who still holds the record as the world's most expensive goalkeeper, told newsmen he is convinced this season will be his last. He, however, hinted he will continue his career if Juventus wins the 2018 Champions League. The goalkeeper has represented his country a record 173 times and has made well over 500 appearances for his club, Juventus. Well, that's all on news now. Thanks for watching. I am Fidelia Aguncha.